Good afternoon. Welcome to the second of the Bankers' retail roundtables, banking roundtables, Banking and Technology, a New Era. This is part of the Bankers' Leadership Series, and we're very pleased today to be sponsored by Finacle from Infosys. This is our second roundtable, and my name's Steve Timewell. I'm Editor-in-Chief of The Banker, and before I introduce our participants in today's roundtable, I'd like to outline our core topic and the procedure in today's debate. While retail banking can cover a multitude of sins, our last discussion focused on innovation. Today our focus is on implementation and how technology can be used and applied in today's retail banking environment. In order to structure the discussion a little, we've provided a broad agenda, as you can see, initially addressing current issues, then addressing sustainability and green issues, and then moving to vendor-bank relationships and then the future. But I'm sure further issues will come up, and clearly we welcome a wide range of views. And so the idea is for this to be as open and clear, and we want to get the best out of yourselves, and I feel there's a lot to discuss in terms of implementation. So I think we'll have a good time ahead. I hope this broad and flexible agenda approach gives some valuable insights to both our viewers, who will see our discussion on the Banker website in July, and also our readers, who will be able to read a review of the roundtable in our July Top 1000 World Banks issue, written by my colleague and contributing editor, Mike Imeson. We look forward to that, Mike. So, with that brief introduction, I'd like to go around the table and have everyone introduce themselves and their organisations and make initial introductory remarks before getting into our harnessing technology section. But what I'd like to do, the question I'd like to pose to everyone is, what are your three key issues going forward? What are the three key topics or key concerns that you have in how in retail banking, how we can best harness technology and implement technology going forward? So that's the initial question. Perhaps give just a brief introduction on what you see are the key issues going forward on implementing technology.
Yeah, sure. My name's Bruce Jennings from National Australia Group, Europe. In terms of technology and retail banking, I think we all realise the transition of the transactions from face-to-face in the branch into online. Therefore, one of the major issues that I think is facing retail banking is ensuring security as we move to remote channels where our customers can't be verified in person. The second thing is absolutely getting that cost of servicing transactions down to the very, very minimum, maximising straight-through processing as much as possible. But finally, making sure that we do understand the proposition we want to give to our customers. We have to segregate between servicing and sales. It's important that the experience that we provide from a technology point of view, when it comes down to sales, is consistent across multiple channels. And when you go into the branch, it's making sure that if this customer comes in and all they want to do is transact with us, is making sure they're in and out as quickly as possible.
Fine, thank you, Bruce. Michael.
Hi, I'm Michael Anseeuw, Fortis Retail Banking, responsible for strategy and business development. I think coming to the question on the three topics, first of all, we see technology has changed how we interact with our customer, because our customer has different expectations, is more educated, and thus requests a different customer experience. Our key challenge is to address the change in customer experience into all aspects of our approach towards the customer using technology. Secondly, in implementing this not only across multi-channels, but in our case is also a cross-border implementation. On implementing technology, you run into the boundaries what you currently have from legacy systems versus new development. Third, and it's a little bit picking up what you're saying on the direct channel, we believe that two things remain key. It's a personal interaction that a customer wants, and it's also the salesperson. Hence, technology serves as a tool to increase personal interaction throughout all channels, and the implementation of technology has to focus on creating this personal interaction. So it's more a remote banking approach than a direct banking approach, what we aim to do.
Thank you, Michael. Patrick.
I'm Patrick Desmares of EMEA, and when you asked us 2 minutes ago the three issues which are coming up to my mind, I took a few notes, and the first one coming up is technology should help us to get more intimate with the client. Up to now, I think that banks have always tried to be close to the client in terms of proximity. But being close to the client, to the customer in terms of intimacy, which has to do with CRM, etc., is definitely one of the most important issues. Another important issue for me is the internationalization of retail banking. We have to succeed in internationalizing retail banking. We have Fortis here, it's a very good example. So this is also a challenge. And the third issue is successfully managing our online, our alternative distribution channels, and making sure that these alternative distribution channels become selling channels and not only transaction channels.
Thank you, Patrick. I'll pass the ball to Amit from Finacle here.
Thank you very much, Steve. Very good afternoon. My name is Amit Dua, and I'm responsible for Europe, Middle East, and Africa business for Infosys, particularly the Finacle part of business. And I've for last over 10 years now, I've been a avid observer of technology trends in banking across from Southeast Asia, when I used to be looking after that region earlier, and now to EMEA. And clearly there's the clients that we speak to, which are banks, large regional banks or global banks. One, there's a distinct trend of globalization happening, as we know. There's large banks who are getting into territories which they didn't used to do business into. So Eastern Europe and China and India and Russia and Latin America. At the same time, there's reverse osmosis we see happening. There are banks from developing world, banks from India and Russia which are getting into Western markets. So there's a reverse osmosis happening there. There's of course a heightened competition from direct banks and some other agile model sort of based banks. In the midst of all this, obviously, there's a customer which is getting savvier by the day. He's sort of wanting convenience, he's wanting simplicity, he's more promiscuous, if I may, because he or she can, switch accounts very quickly. You add to it the regulation and add to it the midsummer credit blues. All of it makes a very, very sort of challenging environment for any player operating in this market. And our belief is that given this context, technology is one thing which can enable the banks to be agile on their feet, cut cost, offer new products innovatively, etc., etc. And I'm not suggesting, right at the outset, I'm not suggesting technology is a panacea. Well, if you've not got the right processes, technology can't fix it. Technology can't fix a chaos after all. But then, if used as a good, enabler, it can do the job given this context.
Thank you, Amit. Simon.
Yeah, hello. I'm Simon Barrows from Lloyds TSB. I'm CTO for Consumer Banking, Cards and Payments. I think most of my thunder's probably been stolen already, but it's good to see some common themes coming out. The three things that I'd thought about were. There's certainly something around the sort of ease and sort of convenience in which customers can interact with the bank, the different channels, internet, going into branches, I guess sort of newer channels, via mobile phones, etc., and providing the sort of technology enablement for customers to do that, but to provide a joined-up experience and to do that securely, to give customers the choice to interact in a way that they want, that's appropriate for what they want to do. For some things, customers will want to go to an ATM or could basically get some information on their mobile phone via SMS. For some things, they will want to go and talk to people face-to-face in a branch. I think we need to cater for all those, but actually cater for all those kind of different instances of interaction in a joined-up way. So if someone does something on the internet, some research, and then go into a branch or call up, we can actually kind of join that up rather than they feel they're dealing with sort of different parts of the bank. So something around that sort of access and convenience. The second thing is around, again, is sort of picking up previous points, customer understanding. Customers, they hold products with us, they have lots of interactions with us, and they have a fair expectation that on the basis of all of those interactions with us and the relationship that many of them hold for a number of years with us, that we have a good understanding of them. And I think it's a case of we need to get better at that, and we need to really apply that to the front line in terms of how we deal with customers and what we offer them. And the third thing is all around efficiency. I think sort of straight-through processing has been mentioned. I think it's a case of getting faster at things, getting better at things, and if we say we're going to do something in a period of time, then we do it. And let's be clever about sort of tracking that and responding to what the customers want.
Thank you, Simon. Fuat.
Hello, my name is Fuat Erbil from Garanti Bank Turkey. I'm responsible from retail banking and alternative delivery channels. And I agree with all the issues, and let me add a few of them. One issue is the loyalty issue, because increasing the technology use and number of alternative delivery channels, we are losing the customer touch and face-to-face contact. And we give the customers the opportunity to search more products on the net, to compare, and etc. So we create the number of contacts with the customers at a higher level, but the loyalty-wise, everything is it's an issue, it's a challenge actually. I cannot say it's decreasing, but it's one of the challenges. The other challenge is the competition in two respects. One respect is competition is copying very fastly what you have done in terms of innovation, in terms of what you come to the market, new services, new products, and etc. Because of the ease of the technology and the less cost of the technology, new technologies. This is one issue. The other issue is since banks are making money in many areas, but one is the service charges and fees is the main issue. But with these cheap technology and cheap alternative delivery channels, it's a challenge on the margins of the banks, actual bottom line profits of the bank.
Thank you, Fuat.
Thank you.
Mike Imeson, our contributing editor, will put a few touches on
that. Okay, yes, Michael Imeson, contributing editor of The Banker magazine. I suppose I've had a bit of a head start in this because I wrote a feature, The Changing Face of Retail, in the February issue of The Banker. And I've got about half a dozen or more key points here. We haven't got time to go through them. And what was interesting as well, two people around this table helped contribute to this article, Patrick over there and also Michael from Fortis, who's quoted in this piece. The first thing I thought was interesting was that retail banking is still the main force in banking. It might seem an obvious statement, but Boston Consulting Group did a survey earlier this year, which showed that 57% of the global banking revenue still came from retail banking. So it's a massive force. Within that, technology. The key thing, which I mention here, which accords with everything else I've done in recent years on retail banking and technology, is the steady trend to online and direct banking away from branches. But that doesn't detract entirely away from the need for branches, because branches are still going to be necessary as sales points. Although, interestingly, one of the people around the table just now said that the direct and the online, the other direct channels are going to have to, in the next few years, do more to provide advice and service more than just transactions remotely. And then the second point about retail banking and technology is, again, which I mentioned here, processing efficiency. It's increasing processing efficiency. And thirdly, reducing costs. Those are the three key things that I think I can draw out of this. There are many other pointers as well, but those, I think, are the three most important ones.